Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad that y'all are here to meet me today in my little small garden. Y'all heard me say the prayer, Lord, enlarge my territory. We there, okay? So today's video will be about me making soil. Why? Because this bag right here is almost empty, okay? And I have empty containers. I told you all that my neighbor gave me that I absolutely love that came off Amazon. And they planting containers, okay? So I need soil for those because I need to take out some of my peppers. I think I just overplanted, okay? For some weird reason, when I bought the peppers from our local garden, it comes with two, for the price of your money. Where when you go to the big box stores, you only get one. Well, I forgot that they only usually come with one, and that's what I plant. So me not really thinking, I planted two in some of these like 5-gallon buckets, and I shouldn't have done that, okay? So I'm just want to make a little room so they can have room to grow, and I'm gonna put some of them in these little 3-gallon buckets because that's what these are. So I want to be able to have enough room for that, okay? In this video, like I said, we will be making our own soil. Got to. So the easiest way for me to stretch my money, because I told y'all, my pockets, they bunny ears now. They bunny ears. I done went overboard, okay? So in that, let me let you all know what we will be using today. So I am going to be using Coco Coir. I got this right from Amazon, okay? I would say they use peat moss, and you can. I use Coco Coir only because they say it's more natural, okay? Also have black cow, okay? That is our compost. So we'll use that, and I also have vermiculite, and I have a big bag of perlite I also got from Amazon a while ago, okay? Go ahead and start with this Coco Coir. This may be just too much. I don't care because I keep having things to plant. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use the block. But this is honestly a humongous block. Almost too much. You probably can use this 2 to 3 times, okay? So it's a big dry thing of Coco Coir. I think they make it kind of out of coconut husk and something like that, okay? So on these directions, they tell you to lay the block down flat, okay? So I got this big 20-gallon tub. I'm gonna put it right inside of there, okay? So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go ahead and water it because it'll expand as we put water in. And I'm gonna go ahead and break it up. From my understanding, a lot of times the peat moss or the Coco Coir, especially peat moss, is kind of at the base of a lot of your different soils. So when them hard times come, I can have it. Probably be good for you to keep some of this, kind of at your house. So if you can see, like I said, it's a 20-gallon tub. I already have a lot inside of the bucket. So when you making the Mel's mix, and anybody know he's like a top gardener who was an engineer, that's something he used peat moss. That was like the base of his soil, okay? So I kind of wet that, and you're supposed to let it sit for about 45 minutes. I can tell it's fluffing really good. And it's very light. It's gonna make a very light potting mix. So you actually should have something with holes in it so it can also drain. We got our Coco Coir soaking. We gonna go ahead and start measuring out our vermiculite inside of our bucket. We'll go ahead and do our vermiculite. And like I said, they tell you to kind of let it soak for about 30 to 40 minutes, because if not, you will. So he did the vermiculite. He pouring all of it inside of the bucket, and we'll put the perlite inside of our other bucket, just so you can kind of have equal amounts. So just kind of measure it out that way inside of a bucket. Even if you use a 5-gallon bucket, just measure it out however much vermiculite you use equal parts perlite inside of your other bucket. So he'll do that. So he put about the same amount in. So I just want to make sure I don't have any clumps or dry Coco Coir, okay? So he got that measured out. What I'm going to do is go ahead and have him to pour our Coco Coir on top of our tarp, okay? So you can mix it up. So next what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put our black cow inside, because you need some kind of compost to add in with it, okay? Kind of equal to how much Coco Coir that you actually used, okay? And whatever compost you use will be good. That's what's rich, the compost. That kind of, it ain't gonna be pretty much a bag without compost in it, whether you use mushroom compost or black cow. It really ain't a soil that does not have some kind of compost in it. So what we gonna do is we'll start mixing this in together, okay? Use your little garden tools to mix up this stuff. Now, what I would say is it's work trying to make your own soil. So again, the convenience is going to the store and spending that money to go ahead and get you some soil. But otherwise, you're going to put in some work to make your own soil. And it's not bad, but you might sweat if it's a hot day. And now we're going to add our vermiculite. Okay, and we'll keep on mixing it up and mixing it around.
How many bags does this make?
You would know how many bags that it make. If I would have used the whole thing of that Coco Coir, I'm having a hard time saying that Coco Coir, but if I use that whole thing of Coco Coir, you should be able to get like 6 5-gallon buckets once you mix all of this in together. So if you think about that, you got your 5-gallon buckets. Another thing that you can use this for is when you're hearing people talk about filling up those green stalks, you need something light and fluffy, and they suggest Happy Frog. You make your own soil. That'll work out for you, okay? I have one, but we bought soil. But I got another one that I haven't put together yet. But believe me, this gonna be the way I go. So he got that vermiculite already mixed in. So now we're gonna go ahead and mix in our perlite. This all the vermiculite and the perlite helps with draining and holding moisture in the soil, to drain the soil and moisture. So you definitely need them. I heard some people say that they've made it before with only the vermiculite and they use the Coco Coir. So I'm trying to make, of course, a rich soil, and I'm trying to stretch it. I'm probably like that out so we can move that around. So, yep. This is just me. You don't have to do this. It's good the way it is. But because I will be planting peppers and putting some more tomatoes in, and I'll be planting some more watermelon, I'm going to go ahead and put me some garden tone in there. I'm going to be growing some more corn, some more peppers, and I think, do another tomato, okay? So this me just making it even better, okay? I'm just gonna mix me. And I got a little bit more worm casting, which also betters your soil. So I'm gonna pour the rest of my little bag of worm casting inside of there. Okay? Now that's just me. Like I said, it was already good before I added the worm casting and before I added the garden tone. But a lot of times we're going to add garden tone anyway, so I'm just doing it now. I'm stretching soil. You complete with just those ingredients that I gave you. But if you got some old bags of soil and you want to make it better, just add this stuff to it. So if y'all see, we just supercharged our soil. That's all we did. It looked like good, rich soil, okay? Got that all mixed up. What we gonna do is go ahead and start planting some things in there that I need to get planted because I got too many of, such as more sweet potato vines. I just grew too many. We just made our own soil. Again, Coco Coir or Peat Moss, but we use Coco Coir, we use black cow, and we use vermiculite, and we use perlite. There go your soil. Completed, just like that, okay? You say it's fluffy, it ain't heavy. So that's good soil for you. We want to go ahead and start planting, replanting some things. Here is my containers that my neighbor gave me. They planting containers that came off of Amazon, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get this filled up because I made a mistake and put too many peppers in some of these. I'm going to transplant some peppers over into there, okay? Because that's one of my flamingos, and I'm really hoping on those, okay? So I'll put that in there. And the piece that broke off, I should have probably put it in some water to see if it'll grow. But that's all right. I'm going to stick it right in there. Let's see what happens, okay? So we just filled up another 5-gallon bucket that I'm going to use to put sweet potato vines in. Here's more sweet potato vines that I had actually pulled out of my garden from me planting a potato in, a sweet potato in. So I'm going to go ahead and put this also in the inside. Don't want to too badly stress the plant, but yep. I just got too many. And that was just me making our own mix for the day and getting to plant some of these extra things that we have that we needed planted, okay? So remember, I am the kindergartner. I'm here to learn from you and to repeat some things that I've learned. I appreciate you all so much for all of your comments that you put inside. As you can see, I definitely listen to different things that you all tell me, and I try to implement them inside of the video. So I appreciate you all. I thank you all for helping other people out inside of the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more, okay?